Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Untuk assignment 2 ini, saya Muhammad Anizan bin Kamarazan dan rakan saya Muhammad Hazim bin Baharudin ingin membentangkan assignment 2 kami. Untuk introduction, SMP is a switch mode power supply that use the switching of semiconductor to send the output signal to the load. It is made up of two switches, a transistor Q and a diode D, and a part that store energy in an inductor L. The two ways this circuit can work depend on whether or not the transistor is turned on. Then a high input pulse is given. The transistor turn on and D is made to go in the opposite direction, and the current from the transistor will go through the inductor to reach the load. If there is no power source outside of the inductor, the magnetic field around the inductor will stop, causing a voltage with the wrong polarity across the inductor. This is a methodology. Figure 1 show block 1 signal plotter, 2 PID controller, 3 saturation, 4 PWM, 5 buck converter. At the figure 2 show block 1 proportional gain, 2 integral gain, 3 derivative gain, 4 integrator, and 5 ideal derivative. Figure 3 show block 1 VC, 2 gain equal 339.412. Figure 4 show block 1 gain, 2 transfer function, 4 buck converter, and 3 output. The problem statement: design a switch mode power supply that produce a variable DC output voltage of 0 volt to 30 volt from a single phase AC input voltage of 240 VRMS 50 Hz. The rate converter output power is 150 watt. Specify the duty ratio inductor and capacitor value using hand calculation. Hand calculation. This is show the hand calculation present. V-peak is 339.41. Duty cycle D is 0.5303. Resistor R is 6 ohm. Inductor L is 35.228 micro Henry. Lx L minimum 0.352 milli Henry. Capacitor is 2.085 microfarad. Assume Ki equal 25, S equal 1000. Ki equal 25, Kp equal 0.025. Hand calculation, find new Kp, Ki. Kp equal 4.819, Ki equal 4819.48. New magnitude gain which produce 45 of phase margin and crossover frequency of 44.7 kHz. This is the conclusion. A buck converter is a kind of step down converter. The output of this converter is less intense than the input. for situation where the output voltage must be lower than the input voltage. Such a switch mode power supply (SMPS) design, several converter topologies are utilized. In order to utilize a lower, more manageable DC voltage as an input, solar inverter often use buck converter. This means that the buck converter topology can be built using the active tool when comparing the output of an open loop buck converter to that of a closed loop converter. That latter provide better accuracy thanks to its feedback mechanism.
My name is Muhammad Hazim bin Barude. Today I will present the assignment to design feedback controller for switch mode power supply. Design switch mode power supply that produce variable DC output 0 to 30 volt for a single phase AC input 24 volt VRMS with the rated power is 150 watt. In a signal builder, between 0 until 0.2 is 0 volt, and then 0.2 until 0.4 is 30 volt, until then goes down until 1 second. For PID, we can see KP is 4.819 with a new KP. Refer below with KI 48.9. Before the old is KP is 0.025 and KI is 25. For PWM, the parameter voltage peak 39.41 volt, and for the buck converter, the parameter voltage supply is about 57, resistor is 6 ohm, and capacitor 2.08 microfarad, and inductor 35, and ESR is 0.05. Refer is voltage ripple 5%. For the buck converter, this is board diagram for buck converter and all. Refer buck converter with a phase margin 10.6 and buck PWM 71.6 degree at frequency 4.5 kHz. While buck PWM-PI, the phase margin is decreased 16.9 degree at frequency 4.13 kHz. And for the old buck PWM-PI, the phase margin is 16.9 degree at frequency 41.3 kHz. And then when it goes up, the old buck DC gain is 77.5 dB. For new buck PWM with PI, the phase margin 85.8 at frequency 20 megahertz. And then the DC gain is 123, about approximate to the 150. Pole and zero map, we can see that stability is non-stability because it had the S-plane, left set S-plane. So now we goes to the schematic diagram for buck converter with feedback controller SMPS to compare with the transfer function. By follow the signal bidder transfer function with the same and parameter, and we in also same about 57, and the inductor is about 0.35 million lead, and capacitor 2.08 farad, and resistor is 6 ohm. And then with feedback controller to PID. The PID is a new KP. Using is new KP 44.8 KP, and the KI also same, using an calculation. Now it goes to the repeating sequence. Yeah, we can see we zoom. And then we can see that triangle from form 0 until 1. And then we compare repeating sequence and the feedback. We can see that the signal bidder that we build 0.2 until 0.4. Now we zoom, we can get a rectangular form for the PWM to inject to the gate. And now we can we go to inductor current. The inductor current, we can see the highest is 5.2 something. Then we can zoom. We can see that the constant current 0.2 until 0.4, until about 0.4 something. So we can go to the voltage output. Now the voltage output approximate to 30 volt that we build in signal builder. So we can zoom to see the voltage ripple. The voltage output is also constant using new KP and KI. That's all from me.